I have the 2,000 ballots I'm going to cast in the next presidential election for me and Oliver. Yeah, John Havlicek here, folks, with Common Ground. If you haven't figured it out, tonight's edition is on voter fraud and how it's really non-existent. It is a solution in search of a problem. And no, my dog is not voting. All right. I want to reach out. Just someone had commented to me that, hey, John, you got to make sure you put the common ground that we have front and center. I'm like, all right, thanks for the input, right? Our common ground here is, I think, I want everybody who's eligible to vote to be able to vote. I want to make it as easy as reasonably possible. I don't want people who are ineligible voting. That's it. Then we know who wins. If it's not my guy, I can live with that. Okay? Then I want to make a quick comment. You may see some comments on my page. If they're bots, I delete them. Okay, one that I posted tonight, within 3 minutes, it had a comment from like West Virginia. I don't have national reach. My dog barely listens to me. So I delete those. So please don't interact with them because that just makes it worse. All right, here we go. Non-existent voter fraud. So, had some really scary stuff going on in Georgia right now. Okay, you can go read on that. But Donald Trump is again promoting conspiracy theories about and misinformation about Wisconsin elections. He's still saying that the 2020 election was rigged, which doesn't make a lot of sense because if the Democrats could have rigged it in 2020, why didn't they rig it again in 2024? Really? And here's what people say, not like the regular folks, but the talking heads. They say, well, there are way too many people on the voter list in Wisconsin. It's just not possible. There aren't that many registered voters. Well, hold it. Those are two different things. Wisconsin maintains the voter list, but it includes inactive voters. Like they're in their own column or whatever. Inactive. That actually prevents fraud. And here's why. Let's say that Joe Schmo kicks it tomorrow. I hope there's no one named Joe Schmo. Okay? He kicks it tomorrow. And someone who knows him, a friend, a colleague, a coworker, a family member, decides that they are going to vote on his behalf in the next election. So they get his social security number, they get his driver's license, they do whatever, and they vote on his behalf. Well, guess what? They're not going to be able to in Wisconsin because he will be on the inactive list as deceased. So they won't be able to. But if you clear that inactive list, they could actually potentially register as him and vote. So the way Wisconsin does it helps to reduce fraud. Okay? And so we got this guy, Bryan Steil is a congressman here in Wisconsin from CD1. And he is pushing federal election legislation. I'm going to assume that he knows the truth. Like, I've never met the guy, but I'm going to assume he's probably pretty smart. And he knows. So, number one, the feds don't really have much of a lane here on elections. That's left to the states to administer for the most part. He just wants to make more hoops. And he wants to, promote this with his base. So he wants nationwide photo ID, which the states do their own thing, and most states have some sort of photo ID now. We do. He wants you to have to verify your citizenship when folks register. Well, good luck if you moved here, let's just say 20 years ago, you can't find your birth certificate, and you have to go back to some small county office in Tennessee that's only open 2 days a week, and you got to do it in person. People won't do it. Once you're registered, you got to be okay. He wants to restrict vote by mail. Guess what current U.S. president voted by mail in the last election? What's his name? Okay. He wants to prohibit ballot harvesting, like somebody's just walking down the street grabbing hundreds and thousands of ballots. It doesn't even let my girlfriend, who witnessed my absentee ballot, take mine and drop it off. Like, really? All right. And so here's the talking points for you. This is not just me dismissing this as a problem. This is the evidence. Okay. So the Brookings Institute is a right side of the aisle conservative think tank. In October 2024, so just over a year ago, they looked at Heritage Foundation data. If the Brookings Institute is here, Heritage Foundation is farther than my arm can reach to the right. But here's what the Heritage Foundation says. They looked at Pennsylvania over the last 30 years, 100 million votes. They found 32 fraudulent ballots. That's 1 in 3 million. Or roughly, that would be 1 in the state of Wisconsin in 2024. 1, roughly. I've never heard of the presidential election coming down to 1. Okay? In Arizona, over the last 25 years, they found 0.0000845% of the ballots were tainted. Do the math, that's 1 in a million. And then here in the Badger State, over the last 20 years, they looked at 45 million votes. They found 69 cases of fraud. So that's about 3 cases of fraud for every 2 million votes. There's just nothing there. And again, I think our common ground is, I don't want to make it harder to vote. Even if I think you and I vote differently, I still want you to be able to vote. Because that's the only way we're going to get these guys to listen to any of us. All right? That's common ground for today. Have a good one, folks.